Wyrmscraig update just dropped, and we got ourselves a new Slayer Master here. His name is Mortimer, and I just found out via the wiki that he does in fact assign custodian stalker tasks. So if I'm not mistaken, he just might be the only Slayer Master I use from this point forward. We're looking to get an imbued heart as well as an antler guard. So let's just see what he assigns us for our very first Slayer task through him. Apparently, he is the oldest Slayer Master. You can see he has some broken rune chainmail hanging off his body. Wow, there's a catch. It turns out his tasks don't offer Slayer points. Well, maybe did he assign us a task? Oh, interesting. Well, I think I'm gonna have to go with worms. Okay, well, apparently we can get Slayer points, so that's good. Got a cool little cavern here. We'll go ahead and just hop on the good old Rainbow Demon. Actually, you know what? There might be worms in here, so I'm gonna go and check it out. Okay, I see. Let's go take a look. 97s. Rune rock there. messed around with lava strike worms yet. This is a single combat area, but I wonder, you might be able to use a cannon here. I just started this quest to unlock the Slayer Master, but the thing is, I didn't even have to complete the quest, which is a win in my book, because I naturally don't like quests. Alright, let's go ahead and well, I seen some good old, well, I guess it looks like I can't park here. I seen some low-level worms. Over here. So we'll see if we can just blast through this task and search for that elusive custodian stalker task. I would normally go to the Varlamore and go into the where you fight the moons of peril. There's little baby worms there, and that makes the task go by pretty quick. And as a bonus, you can actually drink some free overpowered potions that you can only access in that area. Well, these look kind of cool. They actually remind me of Haku on Spirited Away, the movie by Hayao Miyazaki. He's like a little white serpent dragon, kind of like this. You can actually build yourself a bank chest on this island, but I don't have the required items on me. I need some planks and a hammer and some other different things. Also, it said something about special kind of like sunstone shard or something, so I gotta say I might actually want myself a Slayer ring, even though they consume charges. That would get me to Mortimer there much quicker than sailing there. Though I gotta say, that's pretty cool that you can sail your boat right into that cavern. Yeah. Well, these guys aren't even damaging me at all. Free up some space there. Well, I am really excited to see if this island brought with it any unique items I can collect. I saw a hat, a special unique hat down on a rock over there. I don't know if you would be able to telegrab it. I think it's called a big hat or something. Oops. Guess I should have brought some Slayer gear, huh? I didn't realize I would be doing a task on this island. So I'm thinking it's quicker to just do the task in this gear I have on, as opposed to sailing all the way to a bank. I'm gonna refrain from burying these as much as possible. I want to take as many to the bank as I can so that I can get prayer XP in a way that yields more XP than just burying them. Like, I might do some sacred bone burning once I get an altar in my house. I didn't bring my Slayer helmet, you can see, but man, this helmet looks so cool. It's probably one of my favorite in terms of cosmetics. I do like the Barracks helm but of course it's not really useful. This helmet is much better in terms of its usefulness. This is the day of release of this island of Wyrmscraig here. So there's lots of people just running about, experiencing the island and what it has to offer. Guess we'll start burying some of these to at least make a little bit of use out of them. We can actually save some time by burying these in between attack ticks like that. Just like that. We're getting 21 prayer XP per berry. Big bird's nest there. A lonely maple tree. This island gives me like Relica vibes with the Vikings and such. That would be a pretty badass pet, I would have to say. One of these guys. Which kinda brings to thought the whole taming skill proposal. I think it's a really interesting concept. You know, like to utilize followers like pets as for their utility. The only thing that kind of detracts me from it is it would be kind of weird seeing so many players with pets following them, or with, you know, summoned creatures following them. That would definitely be a big step from straying away from the old school feel just the amount of clutter and pointless cosmetics dirtying up the game. Maybe that's not the right word, but I mean, you'll see like players wearing bikinis and giant dragon wings with trailing particle effects, running all over the place, and with like summoned pack mules, and it just adds a lot of stuff into the game that doesn't need to be on the screen, in my opinion. I like this simpler, uncluttered look of this game. They've added so many pets into this game already that honestly you could almost just utilize all the pets that are already in this game for a new taming skill. But then that brings the challenge of, do you really want a player to have to grind out a bloodhound, for example, to get taming XP or the effect, special effect? You would almost need to change a lot of aspects about pets in terms of their drop rates and but taming is a really cool idea, I suppose. It's funny because I always remember players always back in the day wanting horses to ride on, have your own mount. That's why Jagex introduced that stuffed animal horse that you can perform an emote with that says something to the effect of "I ho silver" in a way. You can get it from Diango along with what was called a dragon plate. I'm assuming they released these fool items on like April Fools because players were always really wanting a dragon plate body, since at the time, for the longest time, a dragon chain body was the best. yeah, they finally did release a legit dragon play body eventually. I would highly recommend watching Spirited Away. It's a great classic animated movie. Hayao Miyazaki honestly was a genius with the movies that he's created. My favorites probably include Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, and a few others. But like I remember watching Princess Mononoke for the first time when I was like probably 12 years old, and it just blew me away because I wasn't used to seeing like gore and adult themes in animated pictures. I liked the action, of course, and the relationship that Ashitaka and San develop. There's just some really cool scenes, epic scenes that give you chills, kind of like ASMR, because they're just so cool. It's an interesting concept because usually in movies you'll have the good guy and the villain, but in this movie everyone's kind of neutral when you think about it from their perspective. You can actually make a pretty decent San roleplay outfit in this game. I think it involves that wolf cape, as in the movie San does wear like a wolf pelt, and she has a spear and short hair, just like, I think it's called choppy is what it's called in this game, or chopped. It's like a short hairstyle that looks pretty similar to hers. just rock the standard, nothing on the leg slot, but just the standard, like a dark blue skirt that goes like just below the knees. And I think possibly you would use like one of the elven tops that you would get from Priv for the top that she wears. But I never seen anyone cosplaying her. But I think I tried to make her once in the game, and then funny enough, like a few months later, I saw a player cosplaying as her at the GE, just standing, chatting. So that was pretty cool. I'm sure that person got a kick out of me coming up and knowing, what the cosplay was. You could probably make a pretty good San cosplay in RuneScape 3, because there's probably so much more. Well, like, first of all, with summoning you can have a big wolf follower, so, in the movie she rides wolves. I don't know if you would be able to summon the wolf in the Grand Exchange area, though. I think it might be off limits. '91 defense. I'll have to go do Dragon Slayer 2, as I think I'm well over high enough stats to take on Galvek at the end there. I remember on my main, I actually had to leave the Galvek fight and come back with higher defense and ranged. And that was on a main, so of course on irons you don't have access to some of the best in slot overpowered items you can just buy off the GE. We can actually just go ahead and see what my main has. '80 defense and 87 range, so I think I'm probably good. I got, I think, 599s, 3, 4, 5. smithing is a little crazy and my thieving, because I was doing some pretty wild money makers. You can do some free to play smithing, like rune plate legs and two-handed swords, and that would be pretty good money, like GP an hour. So that's why the smithing level was so high on my main. And I would do a lot of thieving the elves in Briff, and I started thieving for blood shards in Darkmire, but then I was like, you know what, let's just go ahead and unlock Briff for the best thieving pickpocket moneymaker. Enhanced teleport seeds, I think they're called. It can take all day just to pull one, but they're just so much money that it's worth it. This is pretty cool. Reminds me of the Goonies, how the pirate ship was inside that cavern. Good old Mortimer here is gonna get a tag. Alright, so that gave us 40 Slayer points. Oh, I see. So if we do Dust Devils, we can get 15. But if we do this, we don't get any Slayer points. Well, I gotta say, this is a no-go. Dust Devils. If we complete 50 tasks, we can unlock a third choice, which is pretty big. Nice. Well, I'm already on the Ancient Magic spell book there. Let's see how many blood runes I have. Put those away for later. I'm hearing Serenade. You know what? I think that'll work. I'll just need to wear the Expeditious Bracelet, and I should have enough runes for the Dust Devils. Hopefully we can get Smoke Devils assigned soon, so I can get my regular smoke devil boss. 93 Slayer. It's pretty high requirements to get an occult necklace on an iron. So well, we'll just cut the video here and keep doing some Slayer. So see you next time.